Live from the Washington, D.C. area, it's the Inside Scoop, EmeraldPlanet. All the ecology news that our viewers want to know. Now, here's your host, Executive Director of the EmeraldPlanet, Dr. Sam Lee Hancock.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, President, Executive Director of EmeraldPlanet in Washington, D.C. We're reaching out to the world to 143 nations, looking for the best practices for both the environment and for economic development. Many times the emphasis is on protecting the environment, but at the same time in nations around the world with 6.5 billion people scrambling to make a living, to have resources for their families, we need to make sure that we're balancing both the environment and the economy. We have three experts with us that are going to be talking about Latin America and the Caribbean and also Africa. The first interviewee that I have is His Excellency Denis G. Antoine, who is the ambassador retired, I have to put that in for sure, from Grenada to the United States and to the OAS, which is the Organization of the American States. Mr. Ambassador, that is a long title.
And it has been a long tenure.
You have been here a long time, yeah, absolutely.
Let me thank you, Dr. Hancock, for welcoming me to the studios and to be talking with you today. I am very much pleased to be a part of the Inside Scoop.
Well, I want to let you know that we're really pleased to have you, but we've been wanting to have you on for quite some time. And also tell the audience about your new title that you have, since you just recently retired as ambassador from Grenada.
I am very pleased to say that I have taken an appointment with the University of the District of Columbia.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I would be the ambassador at large, and I would be the director for international programs and exchanges at the university.
Well, knowing you through the OAS and the YABT, which is Young America's Business Trust, and your energy and your leadership, I'm sure the University of Washington, D.C. is very pleased to have you.
I hope to make some transfer and to make some linkages with YABT and the University of the District of Columbia.
Well, having these linkages is actually very important because, as you know, we're looking for best practices through the EmeraldPlanet and the 143 nations that we're working with. And the YABT, through Roy Thomason, who is the executive director, I believe is truly a best practice. So if you could share with our audience, because this is going worldwide, tell our audience a little bit about what is the YABT and then its relationship with the OAS.
Well, YABT is a non-profit organization incorporated in the District of Columbia. And YABT started in 1999.
Oh, that's quite a while now.
Quite a while, almost 11 years and running, but it is the vision of this quiet presence of Mr. Roy Thomason, the CEO of YABT, that has an engine going. And the YABT works in cooperation with the General Secretariat of the Organization of American States through a cooperation agreement which was signed by the Secretary General and the chair of YABT.
Now, many people don't really know much about YABT. I mean, if you're in Latin America and Caribbean, most people certainly have heard of it. The fame is now spreading worldwide through what they call the TIC program,
Yes.
the Talent Innovation Competition. But the OAS, tell us a little bit about the OAS and its importance.
Well, its importance lies in the fact that it works with the hemisphere. The OAS is, as you know, one of the oldest organizations in the world. And it is a very quiet but very prominent organization in the lives of the peoples of the hemisphere. The OAS has in place the summit, the summitry process, which is called the Summit of the Americas, where all the presidents, prime ministers, and heads of state would meet every 4 years, as they just met in March in Trinidad and Tobago. This summit produces mandates, and there is a plan of action. YABT now is responsible for implementing the plan of action with the member states through the process of youth innovation and youth empowerment and youth mobilization. So you can say YABT has now begun a real revival of the spirit of entrepreneurship throughout the hemisphere.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic because I was in Port of Spain in Trinidad and Tobago when they had the YABT summit and then the forum that was going on at the same time. And the energy of those almost 1,000 people from throughout the hemisphere. And when we're saying the hemisphere, I think a lot of people would not know it's actually from the Arctic to the Antarctic.
Certainly.
And everything in between, all 34 member states.
The Americas, from Alaska right on down to Chile.
It's an absolute powerful organization, there's no doubt. Now, tell us a little bit about your role with the YABT, and then why do you think the YABT is so important, particularly in Latin America and the Caribbean?
Well, YABT, as a nonprofit organization, has a board of advisors. And having been in the OAS circle for so long, I, as an ambassador, voluntarily serves as a member of the board, and I have been chair of the board for quite a few years now, because I really think that it is the kind of organization, the nonprofit activities that I want to support. But what makes it most important, I think, YABT works with the support of the ambassadors of the member states of the OAS.
Yeah, it was amazing to me going down because they had the 5th summit in the Port of Spain, and to realize the importance and how the Secretary General and many of the ambassadors actually were showing up at the meetings and just sitting in and being a part of the activities because they see this as the future for entrepreneurship and business development throughout the hemisphere.
Well, I think YABT could be called the future of business in the Americas. And as you are aware, YABT fosters and facilitates greater awareness among government officials about youth entrepreneurship. YABT is the vehicle that takes to the field programs, innovative activities that helps young people to get into small businesses and to learn how to develop their small businesses. So there are many programs such as the Business Lab workshops that teaches how to develop a business plan and how to start your business and get it funded. Added to that, you have the next steps that provide support and aftercare when you start your business. So they're not just left alone. They're brought along and they're given the support. They're taught about money management.
Yeah.
Today, we're calling it, of course, financial literacy, but financial education on how to manage your money, where to get your money, how to leverage, how to partner. So YABT is awakening the entrepreneurship spirit of the young people in the Americas.
And I think it's fantastic because you're leveraging the resources and the influence of all the ambassadors from throughout the Americas. You're doing the same thing with all the member states are actually within the OAS. So this gives comfort to the banks and the various lending organizations within each country to say, okay, these people have worked. My understanding was in the competitions in Port of Spain, it was almost 18-month process. They had to go through to be interviewed. They had to set up their own 15 to 30-second TV commercial.
Yes.
Very detailed oriented.
Quite so. And I think what YABT does, it provides support, it provides services, and it provides the kind of assistance, both in kind and financial. So it is a support mechanism. But most of all, what you would find YABT has now begun to do corporate social responsibility.
Yeah, that's really a big theme in there, isn't it?
It's a big one. And so it is ensuring that business in the future in this hemisphere will be very sensitive to the needs of the society. And you spoke about the environment. Corporate social responsibility ensures that there is consciousness.
Yes. Well, in our motto for EmeraldPlanet, we have in there the environment, economic, but also social sustainable development. And this is the link. And so this is a fantastic thread that we're linking all these three together to bring this about throughout the hemisphere. We have some photographs of some of the young people that are involved in this. We say young people. They're really 21 to even as 40 years of age. So we have some of those right back behind us here. And this is both the staff, and we see Roy Thomason right in the middle, and actually, Mr. Ambassador, let me let you just take over and maybe talk about a few of the people in this picture and a little bit about them.
Well, I think it is the magic of the team that forms the YIBT engine. You should first know Roy Thomason. I speak of him as a model that presents himself as a mentor and a facilitator.
We also have to say he's actually now in Taipei, Taiwan,
As we
getting
speak.
ready for a global tick, and
As
I'll
we
be
speak.
joining him Wednesday night, actually.
Well, I look forward to getting the feedback from Taipei. And talking about Roy, when Roy has mentored Luis, and when you met, I'm sure you met
Oh,
Luis.
absolutely, yes.
And then you met Valerie.
Yes.
And then you met Duridi. These young people, they're fascinating. All they are given is the direction, and they're asked to respond by so and so time, and they come back with results. They're
Well-
result-oriented.
Well, like this photograph we have here, this was one of about the 50 competitors that were down in San Pedro Sula in Honduras.
That's right.
And it was almost an 18-month process. Some of the folks in this one are actually YABTers themselves. Others represent some of the young green businesses that are being developed. Let's go to the next slide. We have 2 more slides. I'd like to show those right quick. And actually, this is the First Lady of Honduras.
Yes.
The entire family was very much involved. And you see the TIC Americas, which is the talent and innovation competition for the Americas. And then you see right behind the MC there about democracy and all the other points. And then we have one last slide because there are cash prizes that are awarded. That was an award I made for $3,000 to this young man who's developed some very innovative software for the medical profession, and actually could be used under the stimulus monies and also the healthcare reform in the United States. So they're not just developing, in this case, for Colombia, but throughout the Americas. We have only about 60 seconds left, Mr. Ambassador, and I always like to give my guests the last word, if you will. Take about, say 45 seconds, and what would you like to share around the globe about YABT and the future?
Well, YBT, the idea of YBT is more than a hemispheric idea now. It has gone global. Because with YBT's putting out the word and its activities out there, the calls are coming in from Mongolia, from Mongolia, from Morocco, and we have had participation coming from chapters that are being formed around the world. So YBT has gone international, and it has influenced the young people across the world and setting an example of how young people makes a difference in this society.
Well, Mr. Ambassador Antoine, retired from Grenada to the United States, the OAS, thank you for being with us. Thank you, the audience.